There you go. The thing is, no, it's all set. It's all set. Okay, great. Hi guys, hello, meet everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene, and today I'm on the porch because, well, for two reasons. Number one, this is a quiet place and gives us a chance to think. Okay, and number two is my cat, Rusty, is running around, and he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder right now, so to speak. He's not very happy kitty. And but we have some potential good news, and that is his son will probably be going back to Torrington to be staying with another person for a while, because Dory likes Rusty just as much as I do, and she's understands why I'm growing concerned about Rusty's happiness. And I'm trying to sing up here. Yeah, that's about as good as it's gonna get. Rusty is a good cat. Unfortunately, he's also is a major part of my life, and seeing Rusty moping around like a heartbroken teenager is not exactly a good thing. My cat has been feeling kind of depressed because his son has commandeered the whole house to himself. He can't walk around the house without being combated every day by his son, who beats on his dad. I mean, it's kitty to kitty abuse, really, and it's really painful to see. And so unfortunately, that means that whatever human caregivers are supposed to do, when we can perceive what's going on, we understand what's going on. It's sad. And I love my I love my cats, and I want to see them be happy. I can get a little further back here. Yeah. That's why it's go part. But don't. What? That's about as far back as you can go. Falling on the floor. That's true. Yeah. Now, actually, I also want to talk to you about I'm going to explain something how we're going to be doing these chats when we don't have we're not at the computer. Now, we're not going to change the chat system because that works, but I'm not always going to be able to read your comments in chat like this. Now, we have a standard script that we set up that allows us to very conveniently have a boilerplate that we start with. And then once we have the boilerplate, we fill in the blanks and make any kind of custom thumbnails if there is any. And then we go ahead and after we put the video up in the generic form. It works out because sometimes we don't know what the video is going to be about. As you can see, I am doing better. And by the way, Gary Franchi is doing better. They had the necessary surgery, and he did the same thing I did. He brought up his stay in recovery in the hospital, and he explained that the surgery to fix the hernia he was having was successful. And that brings a great question up, and also brings up something that may be a red herring for some people. Now, if you yourself bring up a live streaming of a topic of its importance to you, it's a lot less morally, ethically difficult to do. Except, of course, there is one thing, and that is, depending on the situation of where you are, it may become disrupting to other people who may be, especially if you are in a hospital room where there's more than one person in that room, and the other person is absolutely positively does not want to even be a part of that. The person has the right to tell you nicely, hey, look, I'm not really interested in that. I don't feel well. I feel ill. So I respect if you would please don't do that here. In that case, what you should do is, if you're able to walk around, is ask the nurse if there's a place where you can do a video. If you are, of course, hooked up to IVs and catheters and all this other hardware, it might be a little harder to do, but yes, it could be done. I mean, you could basically be wheeled out into a private area. But again, make sure if you're doing a video like I did at the hospital emergency room, be respectful of the nurses and the doctors around you as well. They may not necessarily want to be in your video, so you have to keep that in mind at all times. That some people are just not comfortable in being on an intergalactic media network. And I say intergalactic because YouTube, through a variety of methods, goes into outer space. It gets beamed by satellite, at least part of it anyway. And that is probably the signal is probably going out far and long ways away. Sure, maybe more than 10, 15 light years. It might be pretty weak. But still, in 200 years, somebody in Alpha Centauri could be watching this video. You never know. Okay? That's just the nature of how it works. Of course, I don't think it's going to automatically start playing because obviously they would have to, request it. Or maybe if they're lucky, they're having to pick up the proper stream piece that somebody's already playing, and they're able to watch it that way. But they're not going to be able to fast forward, rewind, and stuff like that. So that makes it hard. Now I got my hair done today, as you can see. I also got my eyebrows trimmed up a little bit too because they were getting a little bit unruly, and not too bad, but they were just a little bit long. Let me zoom in on that so you can see it. See? Yeah, it says in my eyes. There's my letter on the stagmus. Okay. Yeah, my other eye. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, today Louis Rossman brought up in a video issue, and he's done a lot of very wonderful things, and one of the most important things he's been doing is teaching us how to do on his own, is how to do PC board repair. Now, he does that for a living, but you would think ancient Chinese secret, Okay, let's keep the secret. This is my way I make my pocket change. I'm not interested in teaching the world how to fix computers. Why would I want to give away the secrets to my success? So he's been willing to share with others his successful secrets that he's been doing and teaching them how to repair things themselves for free. But what's not free is unfortunately something that has been hurting him. His local cable company, which is Time Warner Cable in New York, is charging him $405 a month for business class uplink with 20 megabits per second upload speed. Now, that's sick. That's sick. You know why I get sick? Because, first of all, Time Warner's Spectrum brand is the same brand that Charter is offering here in Winston. And when I priced out what Charter was going to charge me as an individual for high-speed DSL, the rate was absolutely, positively disgusting, okay? They have caps, they have limitations, you can't share your network connection with other people, and I explained how our system is shared in this building. I said I need to know what can I do for me, because we use our internet for the whole building complex. And they said, I guess that would be a business class. Well, could you connect me to someone in the business class? Honestly, ma'am, I don't think you can afford it. And I could see why. If they're going to charge them $405 a month for 20 megabits up, I don't know how many megabits down he gets, but still. That's sad. Whereas Frontier charges me approximately, and I said approximately because I got part of my home phone, so it saves me a little money that way. I pay for my home phone and my internet together. I pay about, with all the taxes and fees and surcharges, I'd say probably close to $100. Okay, that's for 2 phone lines and standard asymmetrical DSL. I mentioned the word asymmetrical because I need symmetrical DSL, SDSL, but they don't have SDSL. And I said to Frontiers, I said to the marketing department, I said, could you please ask somebody in technical who knows what I'm talking about why you guys cannot offer SDSL? I've got a separate phone line. I got 2 empty phone lines right now that are not being used for nothing. Why can't I get SDSL? Oh, because we don't have the equipment for SDSL. I said, if I'm willing to pay $100+ a month just to get equally 16 megabits per second up and 16 megabits per second down. That's what symmetric means. It means you get the same rate in both directions. You don't think I would be willing to pay for that? Oh, I know what you're saying. You're saying, well, yeah, it means you have to pay for, you gotta get the equipment and all that. I'm like, yeah, I know that. And we have to train our workers. I know that too. But you guys got people that want that speed. There are people who need that speed. And if you want to around, keep on going over there. I'm trying to see if Rusty comes in. Anyway, I need that speed. I have to use my front T-Mobile internet device. Yeah, this thing. Just so I can upload videos because they don't give me SDSL. Now, why can't I, if I can get on T-Mobile, I only pay technically $25 a month for this. I'm on a grandmother plan that has binge on it. Okay? And so I can unlimited binge up videos, and I do. So I do it out here. When I'm in the house, however, I found out that this thing, because there's so many computers and things right next to, it's like in the middle of everything, it doesn't work too good, because it's always getting overwhelmed by everybody else's access points in all the apartments next to me. Remember, you only have 13 channels. Okay, and if I understand this correctly, several of the channels overlap. Now, when I started out with my internet connection here, there was like 2 or maybe 3 hotspots, access points in the area. And those 3 were pretty far away, so the signal strength was pretty low. Today, I gotta turn on the Wi-Fi analyzer, And I see that there's at least about 10, 15 hotspots all vying for the same 13 channels. And some of them overlap. Okay, for example, if you're on 1, ideally it should be 1, 2, and 3, right? Because it takes 3 channels overlap because it's spread spectrum. But that doesn't help me any because you got so many of them right next to each other that it's like when you're in a large, say, meeting, a gathering, say, people like at a convention or something. And everybody's talking to their friend. Or, maybe like you're in a lunchroom in school. There, it's an even better example. Now, you're in a lunchroom in school, and you're trying to talk to your friend Amy across the table from you. But Richard Tootsie Silver is trying to talk to Joey. And even though you guys are not exactly sitting right on top of each other, everybody else in the auditorium or cafeteria is trying to talk to everybody else. So all of a sudden, what Amy's telling you, you're only getting a little tiny bit of it. Because Richard, which happens to be getting a little bit frustrated, it's starting to get a little heated because Joey can't hear him. So all of a sudden, you're sitting in a situation that you can't hear Amy. Now, if Amy is your mobile internet device from T-Mobile, and you happen to have it sitting, maybe about a meter away, and then Jimmy is sitting there next to Richard, and Richard, of course, has got a voice that can carry, it's got a certain acoustics, and all of a sudden, you realize that Amy, which has a very higher pitched voice, because she's female and she's younger, maybe she's the same age, I don't know, but all of a sudden, you can't hear Amy, but you can hear every bloody word that Jimmy's saying. And Richard, of course, doesn't care. Richard's sitting there, he's the receiver. He's on the computer wanting to talk to Jimmy. Okay? But you're trying to hear Amy, and so everything that Amy says to you is going, what? What'd you say? Can you repeat that? I didn't hear you. Are you okay? What you said what? In other words, I've tried that in the house with this MiFi. Unless I put this thing smack dab right on top of the iMac, this thing will basically blow chunks. It has to be sitting right up underneath the iMac in order to overcome the very loud Jimmy and Richards, which are sitting there yelling at the top of their lungs because they're now getting into a heated argument over something. And then, of course, just like in a cafeteria, you got a whole bunch of other noisy hotspots not too far down the street, all yelling at each other. Pick me! Pick me! Here's my SSID. Where's my SSID? Pick me! I'm your one! Pick me! Pick me! And you're getting all these 10, 15 of them. Some of them are sitting on the same channel. In fact, channel 11 is one of the most crowded channels in my area. And that's what this thing's set for. Talk about a headache. And I can change this to auto adjust, but here's the problem. Do you remember that Vonex adapter? Well, that only works at a preset channel. So you can't set it and have it wheel and deal, because it has to be set. Either you can possibly have it randomly wheel and deal, which is a bad idea because of the way the firmware was originally when he started using the Vonex. Or you can tell the Vonets adapter that, look, you're going to use T-Mobile broadband number 29, and you're going to use it on channel 11. Here's the WPA PSK password, and you're going to do exactly what I tell you, because that's the only one I want you to connect to. Because everybody else of them are all actually technically saying is our conversations between us. And if you don't know the password, I'm not talking to you. Okay? So if you, that's what makes it harder. If she knew the password, if it was a truly open network, it would have been like, oh, okay, fine. I can connect to Susan. I can connect to Sally. I can connect to Mary. I can connect to Mike. I can connect to Joe. I can connect to Richard. I can connect to Jimmy. It doesn't work that way because guess what? They all have passwords. So if you don't know that password, it doesn't matter. Okay? So what's the problem is some of them, okay, all of them actually to some extent, have another problem. Either in Winston, they're either Frontier, which is what I got, Spectrum, which is run, and then Winston's run by Charter, and that's it. That's the only two choices. Oh yeah, T-Mobile, which really isn't pushing the set that it's going to be the home internet killer, but it does the job for getting me out in the end videos. Instead of being locked up in a house every day, but the only problem is this is half duplex, which means that when I send a packet from the computer to T-Mobile, it can only, because of the Wi-Fi protocol, it can only go one way at a time. So if I send, let's say, 128 bytes, okay, in packet. I know it's kind of small, but just using a simple example, okay? And then I want to receive, say, 4,096 bytes. Who's going to get first priority? Well, if the 128 bytes is the request of 4,096 bytes, obviously that 128 bytes has got to go out first. But if you're like most people, you're not doing one single thing on a computer. You're doing as many as 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 things. All of a sudden, your computer becomes like a constipated cow because now everything you're doing, it only can go one way at a time. Now, if there was some kind of timing or, you know, like a traffic cop, or a traffic cop's a good example. Okay, you got a traffic cop in the street corner. It's in the street, right? And he has his hands up and he says, "This lane goes, this lane stops." And then he puts his hand down and says, "This lane stops and this lane goes," right? So in other words, he's telling the cars which one that goes, which one's to stop, and so that there's no collisions in the center of the road and potentially killing the poor officer in the middle. As I said, but on most computers, this is what they call the collision detection. In 802.11b, G, and N, I don't know about any of the newer stuff, is using that half duplex collision detection, where the systems will pause for a random period of time and try to send a packet. And as long as the packet doesn't collide in with the other packet that's going the opposite direction, we don't have a collision, we have no packet loss. But if you get collision, you lost data. And then you see what they call lost frames, lost packets. Really sucks. Really sucks. So, ideally, if you want to get true spot on full duplex, you need to have something like this, which just does have this feature. I just don't know how to set up on my Mac, where I can plug this with a USB cable directly into my Mac, load the driver for the Mac, and then access it via USB port. Now, technically, the way USB works, it's still kind of half duplex too, because the data is there's two wires. There's positive data and there's negative data. Please understand, it does not mean that data goes one way on this wire and data goes the other way on this wire. It's not the way it means. It's what they call a differential data, which means obviously that the data is 90 degrees out of phase, 180 degrees out of phase with the other data. So that's to make sure for noise canceling. And that's why we have the earth connection as well, that is needed to make sure that the receivers on both ends of the unit, the differential encoder and decoder chips, can properly make sure to decode the data. It's the same with XLR cable for audio and DMX for RS-485. So you got this protocol, except the difference is that with USB, it goes in both directions at the same time. Now, if you have something like a clock, like a Commerce 64 has, a serial bus that's synchronous for the disk drive, okay? Which means it was actually a very a single line IEEE 480 interface, which was the connector used in the PETs. This bus has one line that's serial data, but there's also a clock, and there's also on one side you have your master and you have all your slaves. I could go through and explain how the thing acknowledges devices and stuff, but here's the idea. In the case of, and the same way it applies also with SCSI too, but that's parallel protocol. Let's keep this simple. Yeah, serial ATA kind of is one way of doing it, but we're not going to go there because that's kind of esoteric approach. Now, in this case, if you have, say, it's like an I2C interface. Oh, perfect example. That is, you have a line or SPI interface. Right? You have a serial data. You have a clock, and you have an interrupt line, which basically sends, so data gets sent out from, say, the host. And the first thing the host sends out is an address. And the address says, hey, device 5, I'm talking to you. Device 5, come in, please. And device 5 wakes up and says, here I am. Here's your data. And then, of course, device 5 brings the line low. It says, okay, I got it. Thank you. And then it hangs up, the equivalent of it hangs up the phone. In other words, it then frees up the bus for the next device. Well, it's slow for some things. I mean, it can happen pretty quick, but unfortunately, like Louis Rossman brought up, is where it's not happening fast enough for him is that Time Warner is not telling him all the truth. There is what he's not telling him. You got a shared connection that is shared by you and possibly a whole people block on your block, including individual apartments, that run your bus from the cable company. You have what they call concentrators or repeaters. Now, repeaters are the same thing as switches, except the fact is they repeat the signals technically anyway. But that's not what there is. They're actually more like smart things. They're more like hubs. Okay? And these hubs, which is even worse than switches because they just repeat everything. Okay? So, you only have one cable coming in to this device, okay? Hub. Or more than likely, it should be a switch. But I'll use this example as a hub. This is an example. So, somebody starts playing game in 8K video. I'm talking about you, Linus. As well, right? Playing a game in 8K video and streaming up his video because since he's so badass. I'm downloading a video at 8K and I'm uploading at 16K. Great. While Louis Rossman is trying to figure out and trying to show you how to fix a MacBook that's not charging his board. Or it's not even booting up. And so while his network, his connection, is trying to send out the data from his video RTMP streamer, his RTMP streamer is kind of getting packets lost because Time Warner can't seem to keep up with the guy who is downloading an online interactive game and playing it raw at 8K and then uploading his YouTube stream in 16K. And is wondering why everybody else in the building can't even bother manage to check their checking account and bank statements in a realistic time. That's because you only got a fire hose that's so big. That's where the problem starts. And as we get more and more advanced into our videos, we're seeing this more and more. I know that in my videos, I run into this problem all the time. That's one of the reasons I usually upload video at only 640 by 480. And I also only upload videos at monochrome. I don't know if the monochrome makes much of a hell of a difference. I like the look. Okay, it's cool to me. I like it. But obviously, if you're going to start uploading videos in HDR, well, that's going to use more bits. If you're uploading video at standard definition, 640 by 480, versus say 1080 by 1920, or is it 1920 by 1080? Okay, that's at 60 frames per second. That takes a heck of a lot more bandwidth. And that's enough to kind of a situation that can seriously make everybody else's life miserable. And it's, I know some of you might say, well, why doesn't he just go ahead and have Time Warner run him a completely separate fiber optic cable from their head end into a studio? Because Time Warner's not going to do that. Okay. No more than I can get Frontier to give me a fiber optic cable to go to my apartment. And trust me, I called them and I asked. I said, hey guys, I really could use fiber over here because I upload videos every day. I need fiber. I'm sorry, we're not going to run a fiber optic cable to your apartment because it costs so much per mile. And we don't think realistically you can afford it. This is probably true. I probably couldn't. Probably be like $3,000-$4,000 a month. But the thing is that, trust me, $3,000-$4,000 a month plus, you know, they're going to probably, of course, charge for the installation price and for the equipment. And this is cheaper. Trust me, I'm only paying about, just for this part, I'm paying about $25 plus tax. I'd rather pay that. Even if it is just a little slower. So, does that mean that the cable company should be allowed to bullshit you like that? Of course not. Does that mean that the cable company should make you feel bad because you can't afford to spend a couple, $1,000? Here's a business, right? He should be able to take it. Part of his business success was doing exactly what he's doing. Showing people by promoting what he's doing is how he gets them to want to come into his business, because he's showing them what I do to fix a piece of equipment that's not working. So it's self-promoting by showing people how I fix broken power supplies, how I fix motherboards that don't boot, how I fix SMC controllers that have totally gone foobar, how I fix water damaged circuit boards. That's how he gets people to come in. That's how he does that. It's not just hanging a sign on the door and saying, "We fix computers. Cash, please." No, he shows you what he's been doing for years. That's what makes him successful. That's why Louis Rossman and iPod Rehab by Jesse Jones are successful. Because they show you what they do. That's why I do what I do here. It's just I'm trying to show you what I can do. Besides the fact I love doing it anyway, right? I mean, I don't do board level repairs much, but still, you know, I think that this is getting long enough. But here's what I want to wrap this up because it is getting late. Okay, ready? Here we go. Let's see how late is it. Let's see how long have I been yakking at you. Oh, 36 minutes and 8 seconds. Okay, I think I can spare a few more seconds. All right, let's talk really quickly about the live stream for the 10th of the month of September. One of the people that was a regular is beginning to communicate with me again. And I'm very much hoping that she will be part of the live stream on Sunday at 6 o'clock. As well as the other regulars. And I'm hoping that Amber Yorkshire will be there too, because it's always fun to have 3 people to talk or chat to. I say chat to because I read their comments, I read their questions, and then I read them to you so that because you guys can't see what I see, and then I answer the questions on camera. Right? It's the easiest way for Michele to do that. It's the easiest way. Right. And Sherry wanted to do the same thing, but I don't think Sherry understood how we do that. So I'm going to explain this now. When you come into the live stream, if you are watching this as a live stream, not all these live streams have live questions. This one here is not, I don't even have any way to see any questions that you're posting right now. I didn't bring my other phone out here to read them. But I definitely do plan to read your comments after the video is through. So when the video is through, you can just leave your comments below and I will read them to you and reply to your comments. But don't forget for the live stream on the 6th, or I'm sorry, on the 10th of September at 6 p.m., I will be at a computer which lets me see your chat comments. And I will read them and I will respond to them. And it's open to anybody on YouTube. And you don't need any special credentials or anything. The only thing you need to do is make sure that you're registered as a YouTube user. That's the only thing you got to do. And it's so easy. If you're not, but you want to, but you just won't at the same time subscribe to my channel, this is how you do that. Click where it says, and it would be right over here. Right here. Thank you. On this side, you will see or is it this side? If you're looking at the screen, it's the only blue square you're going to see. It says subscribe NASQ. Click on that square, okay? And it's going to give you a subscribe button. Click on that subscribe button and also then click on the little bell icon. The little dingy dingy dingy. That is so that you will remain subscribed and you'll also receive notifications of the next time I do a video like this one. And because I know that people do like to comment and I do know that they love to talk to me, and the few that I do have, you are more than welcome to. That's why I want to leave for this time being Sunday is our day where we can talk and we can share. Because that, at least, and I'm not making you feel like I'm ignoring you, because I'm not. And, of course, like I said, you leave a comment on these videos, even the ones that are not live. I will get to them, and I will read them. If you post links in the videos, please understand that YouTube's own system decides it's spam. Is it really? Not necessarily. So in that case, what I do is I unspam them, and I put them back into the main feed. So that we can actually, I can reply to them, and others can read them, and things like that too. If you want to talk to me private, if you really got to say something that really is bothering you, but you don't want to make it a public thing, it's so easy. Just contact me at bsandboyichela3@gmail.com. Again, that's bsandboyichela3@gmail.com. If you'd like to make a donation, we got a medical bill that's coming up soon. The billing department hasn't printed it yet, but I got a feeling it's going to be huge. Ew. So, if you could help me with my medical bill, seriously, just contact me. You can make a donation to Patreon. Why not? That's one way to do it. From the way I have Patreon set up, if you will make it through Patreon, it's a monthly thing. You set the amount. So if you want to send $1 each month, you can send $1. If you want to send 10, 15, 20, you could do that too. It's www.patreon.com/BICHELA. If you want to send it to me by PayPal, this is not quite as automated, but here's how you do it. You go to your PayPal account, and you click Send Money To, and you send, it'll ask you for email address. You type in BICHELA3@gmail.com. That's all you have to do. So you would send it to BICHELA3@gmail.com, and that way I will get a notification. Ding, you have money. And I will, of course, go ahead and put that money, if in this case, if there's a particular special purpose for the money you want me to use it for, whatever, just leave me a little message along with the money. And, so we could do. Some time ago, one of my users, by the way, said he was going to send me some phone gear. I never got that yet. I wonder, Dave Sullivan, when you plan to send that equipment. He said in August, but August is here, already came and gone, and I haven't seen nothing. Just kind of give you a heads up that I haven't seen nothing yet. But anyway, so if I sound like I'm kind of leaving syllables out, I'm sorry. I got a little bit of acid reflux kicking in, but I'm getting old, and my health is kind of mediocre. But here's the deal: how's my right leg today? My foot is fine. How's my left leg? Well, I have it wrapped in an ace bandage, and it seems to be holding up pretty well. So it makes it feel a little bit better. And my eyes are kind of crappy. Well, right now I seem like they're crappy. With all the stuff that was going on in the last few days, yeah, it looks like it definitely is in the crappy department. You definitely need to get more of those eye drops in your eyes on a regular basis. I fell behind, I know. And I'm going to try to get those up to date again with the eye drops. I have another box I didn't open yet, so we're going to try to keep my eyes can't see it and see if we can try to do something about my right eye. But I don't think my right eye looks like it's doing very good at all. It just looks like crap. Some days I can see really well, and this day it seems like when I'm looking at my right eye, it looks like I'm looking in a fucking fog. And my left eye is okay, but my right eye is making my left eye really have to work extra hard to do anything. And that's the sad truth about when you get older. Alright, so that's it for now. thank you guys. See you soon. Stay out of trouble. Okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye.